Yes. Oh! Give me the claps. Hey! This is how we do it. We got an extra special one today, motherfuckers, which is too soon to say that, but we don't have any actual sponsors that we didn't make up, so demonetize these nuts. This is Trump's America, so fucking what's up, losers?
Well, I probably shouldn't throw up the white out.
I know. I keep doing this.
Hold on.
You good?
Let's start over.
I do keep doing this to people. Somebody will be like, I really liked that beer. And I'm like, yes. I'm glad you did. And then I'm like, I look like this. I can't do that. Anyway.
Hit the intro.
We got a beautiful one. We got Chris Moody down here on this end. Cole Watson, maybe a fucking guest spot from Craig today. We'll find out. See if he got all the hate out of his heart before the pod. I am TJ Nickerson. This is Zach Howard. We're at Zach Howard's house. And god damn it, if we don't have a special treat, a bite-sized Snickers of a treat for you today. Mr. Ryan Schrilla, the only man in town who ever really believed in us.
Wow.
That's right. Atlanta's #1 lesbian comedian.
Thank you.
Well, him and Cole are in a battle.
Yeah, some sort of weird lesbian battle.
Look at that. Look at this hair.
Dude, we're just scissoring for first place.
Tuck that thing and scissor, boy, like your life depends on it.
Well, let's hold on. What do you drive?
Ooh.
Currently a Tacoma.
But he's looking at Subarus, baby.
That's not true. I'm looking at Hondas and Toyotas.
I have a Honda Civic.
Oh, I was going to get a Civic. That was on my list.
I thought you drove a Ford Ranger.
I still have my Ford Ranger, but the old Danger Ranger is parked right now, and it's in hospice right now. It's at 204,000 miles.
Yeah.
It is.
You'll love to see that, dude.
Boy, howdy, it is on its last leg.
R.I.P. dude.
Damn.
I'm sympathetic to that. I have not driven my 4Runner much here recently because it is shaking violently.
It's got a cool wobble. It's the scientific term.
But it has 350,000 miles on
Ooh,
it. So.
that's a good number.
That's Toyota Pride right there.
That's Toyota.
That's Toyota.
Toyota Pride.
The terrorists don't drive them for no reason. That's
You know what? I learned that ISIS actually drives some Ford Rangers, and I'm like, you know what? If it can survive a bombing, it can fucking haul some wood and some lumber.
And just
take me to the grocery store.
The day-to-day
normal stuff.
Brutality of the desert is tough on a vehicle. So
Rumor has it ISIS is now donating to charity because of Donald Trump's presidency.
Hey, let's actually get into that. I wanted to say this up top. Honestly, this is The Handmaid's Tale.
What happened?
I mean, I can feel it all over America. I mean, they're rounding women up, putting them in cages. This is crazy.
Dude.
Or at least that's what it looks like if you go on Threads.
My God.
Threads is having a rough time.
Which is all I've been doing. I'm telling you right now. I have... All right. You ever? This might be a hard sell, but do you ever have a day where you look at porn too much? Like you can feel that, like maybe you like an hour was too much.
It's like when you
from
get
the ages of 15 to yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it's like when you get to page 15, and it's just like, the pages are doubled. You can now, goddamn.
You can feel it in your soul, right? Like after you nut, like you're like, goddamn, I should not have done. And that is the way I feel. I felt that way every single day sitting on Threads. I get off Threads and I'm like, I feel gross. I need a shower.
I just go back and forth from Threads and Twitter.
Yeah.
And they're both both of the dorks on both apps are having like a small who let the dogs out revolution where there's clearly people who decided together on Twitter we're going over to Threads to talk shit.
Yeah, right.
And Threads is going in like we need to change the narrative over here. It's racist or whatever. And so they're all just like saying stuff and everyone on each app is like, you guys are crazy. This is whatever. And it's a
wild time to see people freak out. It's kind of a nutty thing to watch people lament. I haven't used that word since 10th grade.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Once in Bible study, and that was it. And now people are like literally like shaving their heads. That's what they did.
People are going
in
insane.
The OT.
Meanwhile, I found $20 today on the ground.
That's Trump's America.
That's Trump's America right there. That beats the hell out of Bidenomics.
The economy is up.
I'm not losing money. I'm finding it.
I'm finding
already, dude.
Dude, already
Cole's in the green. Dude.
We're 6 days in. Things are changing.
Craig's gonna buy some Four Loko.
Yeah,
dude. I want to mix some Four Loko with some malt liquor.
That would,
There you go.
Like they have a red, white, and blue can for
Yeah,
logo.
yeah,
Oh my
dude.
god!
which I think is supposed to taste like one of those bomb pops, right? It's just popsicle and booze.
Popsicle and caffeine.
Have you seen the Coke Zero and Oreo?
Yeah, I've had it.
I heard it's not bad.
Well, here's the thing. It's vanilla Coke Zero. Right?
Fair.
I mean, like, it's all it is. Like, they've branded it as Oreo Coke Zero, but from a flavor profile standpoint, I mean, that middle center is just vanilla cream.
Moody, you look like a fan of Oreo Coke Zero.
Moody's had some Oreo.
I look like an Oreo.
Just a vanilla Oreo.
Living his best life over
Chris,
there.
did you
Oh,
even
my
make
God.
sure you're in this shot?
I don't know.
Squeeze it.
No, I'm good. No, we're good. I got the white shot on there. Yeah. Sorry, my life's been a wreck.
I got hot and heavy into it.
Tell us about
You
it.
guys seen these hot boys on TikTok that like Joe Biden? You ever seen those guys?
Hot boy?
There's 4 of these they were on Tim Dillon's
Wait,
podcast.
like with an S or a Z? Because those are two different people in my mind.
Boys.
These are with an S, I think.
Okay,
I think these are just hot young boys.
Oh, Frosted Tips?
Jesus Christ!
But they're just these Biden Harris or Harris Walsh boys. I've been getting heavy into that, dude. Whatever is going on my algorithm is just like, do you want to watch Charlie Kirk destroy 30 liberals at one time?
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that.
I do.
Yes, I do.
just,
Every time.
just people with
Yeah.
a fucking gender studies degree coming over being like, why are you so mean all the time? And he's like, well, let me tell you.
Well, I'm gonna tell you about the Constitution.
Yeah, and just as a message for folks that if you did vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, it's not gonna be that.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's always gonna be
It's
all right.
not. It's like
Everything's going to be fine.
but the black girl's like, I'm gonna be a slave to my
slave
life.
You
What
saw
are
that
you
video
talking-
too?
I hope that's like a bit, because if it's a bit, pretty
pretty
good,
funny.
pretty
Pretty
good
funny.
bit.
Yeah.
If it's not a bit, hey, it's you're okay.
You're gonna
Here's
survive.
the thing.
Yeah, dude.
You just gonna live your life. You go to work, and you're still gonna, it's gonna be all. It's fine.
Right.
What is going on?
Oreos, baby.
Yeah, we still got Oreos.
Oreos and-
Well, don't call her that. That's
Girls that vote for Kamala, yeah, they're black on the outside and white on the inside.
Hey,
Oh.
DJ and I pitched a sketch idea, and by pitched I mean to each other.
What do you think of this?
Which one's the catcher?
We talked about it when we were stoned. We call it a pitch.
Where it's like the boardroom at Global Corp, and basically the guy's like, "Listen, I don't know how we're gonna fix things," and another guy's like, "I got an idea: slavery." And everybody's like, "Whoa, no!" He's like, "No, not black people.
Obviously.
just people we don't like.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah. Guys who...
Ooh.
Just
guys who-
GameStop employees.
Right, guys who
that-
vape on public
Ooh.
transportation. And
I tell you a group of people I can throw in that. People who ride their bike on the road
Absolutely.
with no bike lane.
Yeah,
Fuck
right.
those people.
don't get Craig
Done.
started on bike lane.
Done.
Craig,
Dude,
firing up,
oh my
Craig.
God, I think about running them over every single time.
Yeah.
The larger the person, the higher the points,
And
and,
it's-
I
Right.
need some points.
I respect the hobby. I get it. You're trying to stay fit. You're
Right.
being aerodynamic. Cool. But here's the thing. You have the highest sense of entitlement out of any group of people I've ever met.
Yeah.
It is beyond nuts. I think in list of entitlement it goes Will Smith, road cyclists who don't use a bike lane, and then one lady who barged through me at security at Hartsfield Jackson because she's like, my plane is late. My plane is boarding. I'm like, bitch, all planes are boarding right now. Get here on time. And then I have fantasies about that lady missing her flight to this day.
I thought you were going to
Jerk
say I'm
off
just
to it.
tripping her.
Yeah, no. Stabbed her. No. No. This game, for legal purposes, is a joke that is thoughts and opinions on Beautiful Losers podcast does not reflect Ryan
Allegedly,
Schrilla.
Yeah, Beautiful Losers does not support Ryan Schrilla's. If we all voted for Kamala Harris, I don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
yeah, I did too. I was excited about war.
We trapped
and,
you, dumbass.
Joke's on you. I wrote in Hitler. What's up?
No wonder Trump got
I
elected.
doubled down. You should have seen the DraftKings spread on that one.
They count those for Trump.
If
dude.
you ask people on Threads how many, like, if you just went out and man on the street interviewed people, you're like, did you vote for Kamala, whatever, and you said how many people you think wrote in Hitler, they'd probably give you like some dumb answer,
Yeah.
like 3,000,
Ooh,
Do you
3,000?
which actually could happen.
I would take, given how many states, 50 states, 300 people. Nah, I would take the under on that.
A beautiful mind. All right,
Yeah, sorry about that. I went off. Sorry, you gave me some Sheila G.
Yeah, beautiful.
we did Sheila G you up.
Oh, he's in the volcano.
He's in the shade.
Run through that fireplace.
If you come on our
over there.
podcast, we will inject you with volcanic goo.
I feel so bad you don't have a mic down there, Moody.
Oh, I know. Well,
That's your penance for being late.
For being
That's
late.
right.
dick
That's
face.
right.
I
I'm just kidding.
apologize.
I'm just kidding.
I've had a day. I felt entitled yesterday. I was flying back in from a wedding, leaving the
Oh, that's
Always
right.
wedding
Chris was up in Minnesota,
Minnesota.
the land of lakes.
Golden
Minnesota,
Gopher
dude.
territory.
That's right.
Yeah, we were flying back
Jesse
yesterday.
Ventura territory.
Oh, he's the best.
How did you like the wedding?
How did you like the
My thoughts on it was that I didn't like the bride, and I think she's actually a lizard person. You know, when a bride gets groomed and they actually walk down the aisle, it's a sign of patriarchy.
I didn't want the fish. I wanted reindeer meat. I was in the Navy SEALs.
I was in the Navy
So how
SEALs.
was the way? How
Yeah,
was
sorry,
what
we're
happened?
fucking
Oh, the
around.
wedding was it was a wedding.
It was a wedding, yeah,
it was,
okay,
it was
cool.
at an old building in Minneapolis, and my wife's grandmother Jeanette just kept talking about 10-year-olds that were stealing cars and shooting people,
Oh, the Kia boy?
but only
The
on
Kia
the,
boys.
only on the weekends.
yeah.
It only happens on the
So they
weekends.
have some respect.
Yeah.
Some respect. Not for the law, but for society.
For society.
For society.
Chris,
Okay.
Chris hit me with some cool videos yesterday where he texted me some videos of him at Paisley Park, which I was pretty fond of.
Paisley Park.
Prince.
It's
Prince
home
died.
of Prince.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
Man.
studio. It's pretty
Did you
wild.
go
It's like
in
a
or
white
did you just
castle.
drive around?
Just drove around it.
Yeah.
Just
Just
took a couple laps.
paying homage.
Can you
Yeah, I
go in
literally
it?
did.
Can you, is it like a museum?
We had the Purple Rain song
Hell
going
yeah.
as
Yeah,
I
you
was
did.
around it. Yeah.
Hopefully that 12-minute live version that Zach's always playing.
He gets
Fly to
accosted by a
Syracuse.
homeless guy. He's like, "Hey, I never wanted to be your weekend lover."
He's like, too bad.
Too bad. You're coming with
Dude,
me.
yeah, it's been a wild few days. We were coming back.
Welcome
long
back, buddy.
travel day yesterday. We were coming out of, speaking of entitlement, coming out of the Delta room.
Okay.
By the way, with my father-in-law, and he ordered us one of those
Black
like
Rock operative.
handicap.
Shout out to him.
You know those like handicap golf carts in the airport?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's just
yeah.
like
Oh,
8
yeah.
people.
Yes.
That we were like late to the gate, and he ordered one of those because his wife has back problems
Because
right
he's
now.
wealthy.
Because he's wealthy. So talk about feeling entitled, just
got a little
weaving in
pull.
and out of people. Just 6 able-bodied people.
6 totally healthy
just
people
in a handicap
on a golf cart.
Hopefully Princess Di waving to
Like
Hello,
everybody.
peasants.
Everybody
And that
we
is
passed.
Trump's America, dude.
Just throwing out
Just
job
white, able-bodied
job
people.
applications. Take these, losers. Fill one out.
Every
Dipshit.
single
I was
person we
poor
passed.
once like all of you.
He sounds like a Kennedy. I'm gonna drive this golf cart, and I'm gonna get to gate 34A.
In my America,
I
you
will not
too
miss
can.
my flight.
Why do the golf carts go through the airport?
Did he drive? Hold on. Did he drive it back into the left?
They pulled him back into like the gate, and then we boarded like
6 people who can get off that golf cart with
we all,
ease.
we all
Just
we all
running.
just stepped off, and then they called like boarding, like zone 1 sky priority, and we just went straight onto the
Excuse me.
insane.
You know, the kicker is they didn't have tickets. They're just like,
It is,
we're just gonna do this.
We run
It
this
was
shit.
pretty wild.
Egregious white
Damn,
privilege
dude.
there.
But I go from that then to coming home. I got home like 8:30 last night, and we just got this house, and my wife thought she set up auto pay for the electric bill.
Oh, nice.
Turns out she didn't.
Turns off.
Turns off. We were like clicking the garage clicker, and we're like, "Damn, the battery must be out." So I had to like go on the front door, and I was like, "Oh, nothing's working."
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to pay the power bill.
Everything, all the fridge, like food, everything was just
Oh,
ruined.
that's-
Smelled
Oh,
like shit.
no.
That's the
Yeah, I
worst.
had
How
loved
many
that.
days was it?
Dude, since like Thursday, we were gone for like a week. Yeah, it was rough.
That's
So it was a
right.
rough
Day
night.
3 is like that's when shit starts to
Yeah,
be,
so
be
going
bad.
from handicap golf carts, go home no power was
Just
like
crash
very
down
humbling.
to reality.
Karma is real.
Back to poverty, dude. Back to
Right
poverty.
back, dude.
Now I wish I wouldn't have spit on those people at the airport from a golf cart.
I paid homage.
Hey,
And I
homage.
get in my car. It's like God is telling me something. I get in my car to come here. It won't start.
Oh, no.
So
man.
well,
Be
my,
it cool?
my wife's car. Yeah, it just won't start. So I just jumped it with my wife's car. But it was like God's humbling me right now, which I appreciate.
R.I.P.,
It was
dude.
too much white power.
To quote
much
Kendrick
entitlement
Lamar.
going on.
White power?
Yeah, white privilege. Sorry.
The other one.
To quote Kendrick Lamar, stay humble.
Stay humble, dude.
Stay on.
To quote Tim McGraw, stay humble and kind.
I can't quote most things from Kendrick.
No.
Yeah.
Well, you can now.
Now I
like-
can.
No.
I like, bitch, where were you when I was walking? Like that. That is like, I've had
pretty
some
good.
people being like, hey, do this. What about this? I'm like, you haven't talked to me ever. You
That's my favorite
I know
Kendrick
you don't
album.
like me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to put anybody on blast, as they say. But
Name
yeah.
'em all.
Hey, like,
Say
hey,
their
List them.
bitch, where were you when I was walking?
That's right,
Like,
dude.
that's a heavy one.
That's
a heavy
right.
one.
That
That's a
goes
good
hard.
Man, I should have said that earlier today.
No.
Greg?
Out of context, fun stuff just for us boys.
Yeah, that's an inside baseball right
Yeah.
there.
Just between us girls.
Just between us girls, yeah.
Take it easy, Craig.
Easy, Craig. Dude, speaking of power going out, before you got here, fucking,
That's
we were
true.
sitting at the thing. I think it was just
It's
me
just
and
me and you, yeah.
And their power went out.
My power went
and
out.
then it like sputtered and tried its best for a second. It was like, no. And then and I was like, oh shit. Is North Korea EMPing? Are we gonna have to have a pod-calypse?
They only have until January 20th or whatever it
That's
is.
right.
They better do it while they can.
That's right, dude.
Just kidding, North Korea. Please don't do anything to
Yeah,
us.
just-
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Daddy Trump's gonna protect us. Don't you guys worry.
Just relax and watch basketball or
I don't
whatever.
know. Yeah,
North Korea.
I really hope people calm down.
No, I imagine
seriously.
it's going. I mean, I was awake and alive from 2016 to 2020, and I imagine it's going to be another 4 years of just absolute screeching at the top of people's
Oh,
lungs.
it's gonna be so good, though.
Yes, it will be because no one is listening.
You know what the ironic part is that there was a policy that he was going to enact where no tax on tips, and let me tell you,
Most of
there's
these
a
people.
lot of blue-haired bartenders out there.
Oh, absolutely.
And if I bring that one up, I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? Like, blah, 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 blah.
It's alright. Fucking, he's a rapist. I don't know.
Well, Kamala, yeah.
But the
tip's pretty good.
Well, you better keep all your tips. They're like, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty
Kamala
good.
covered her ass by being like, "Yeah, us too. We're doing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
too.
we're totally
It
doing
is
that.
fair that they keep the tips because they're gonna have to keep the baby too.
Oh, gonna need all them tips for
Cole's
diapers.
going to start hitting girls with your body, my choice.
Yeah, that's right, lady. I'm just kidding. That's awful. It's way more fun.
that is
when
one
they-
I've seen people being like, someone said that to me in public. I'm like, no one
Nope.
said that.
No
to
one
you
said
in
that.
No.
No.
You're
Unless they were an actual troll.
Yeah, or they're just like a person with schizophrenia.
Right.
yeah, you're talking to homeless people at
There's
this point.
there's some of those out there.
Well,
They're unhoused.
That's
Yeah.
part.
Excuse me.
That's part of
Unhoused.
what is like spins me out about it. Is like no one is being mean to anybody outside of on the internet. So it's like if you
Internet is pretty
wanted
crazy.
to stop feeling like people were being mean to you, just put your phone down. Stop threadsing things like I'm gonna go to there was a guy in my office who threads that like we should start outing Trump supporters and outing business owners who own businesses who support Trump. Like we should start putting these people on
And
blast.
then do what?
And I'm like, brother, you work for like
Watch
you work
their
at a
sales
company. Like, what are you
increase.
talking?
yeah.
That guy's livelihood depends on Trump.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Like,
It's
what
like,
a moron.
It's crazy.
I know our boss voted for Trump. It's like, what do you like?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Would you like to be fired from your job? Is that
Right.
what you want?
Because you're trying to
Because
orchestrate some sort of.
and nobody from work
soft
is
gay
being
riot
yeah.
or
No one
something?
from
What are you
work is
talking
being
about?
crazy to this guy. It's like, dude, you're the one who's spazzing.
Remember in the 90s that when we watched Pod, we surfing through channels and we see Nickelodeon, MTV, we see Comedy Central, and then all of a sudden C-SPAN pops up and it's the most boring shit ever.
Yeah.
It's still the same. It's still boring as hell.
And you would be like, boo.
Yeah, but every time someone brought up politics, like, well, look at this
Yeah,
fucking
shut up.
dork. And then you got, teenagers being like, I don't like the policy of this. You just said policy. Go say, I don't know, skeet, bust a nut. Say some cool stuff. Say skateboard. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
do something.
Yeah.
Fucking.
What's been blowing my mind, and
Crazy.
I will preface this with, I do believe mental health is important.
Hell yeah.
It's-
We're a liberal
it's-
podcast.
He's got a,
Well, no, I genuinely do
he's got
believe
a
that.
therapy degree.
You
dude.
watch-
Yeah,
your
I got a
fucking
psychology degree. It is a real thing. There is issues, you
I like
know.
calling it
but people
therapy
who
degree.
immediately started posting like the suicide hotline when Trump
Yeah.
got elected, like
That's bad.
that's
It's bad for mental
that's-
health as a whole.
yeah, that is like completely discrediting other like
Yeah.
people's like actual
Yeah,
problems.
right.
It's
Yeah,
like it's
I'll
also
say
like if just in case you hadn't thought quite about killing yourself, here's a reminder.
Here's a reminder.
That
Here's
is
a
an
reminder.
option. Like what the
It's
fuck?
like, it's just 4 years.
Well,
Relax.
It's the same. It's all the pearl clutching in general. It's very reminiscent of people in the 80s and 90s who would pearl clutch at music and metal and
yeah.
rap
Yeah.
and all this stuff. Like it's so. It's so interesting to have been alive and to have been paying attention for as long as I have, to see people who are defending things like war and interventionism and like censorship and all these things where I'm like, dude, you're on the side of like the lady with the perm on C-SPAN being like, I don't like it. This is the degradation of our society.
Right. And then D. Snyder has to come to Congress and be like, listen, guys, this is stupid.
We're not going to take it.
It's just crazy to see some 19-year-old fuckboy be like, I think we need to be in Afghanistan.
Hey, where'd you come across that, brother? That's great.
We did pass through that. Music is kind of a shocking thing because now, like, Little Nas X is like sucking the devil's dick on,
Yeah,
like,
maybe
on an award show.
Maybe
like,
Nancy Reagan was right, or whoever did that. Or was it? No, it was Tipper Gore.
Tipper Gore.
Tipper, what a name.
That's crazy.
Barely know her.
Tipper, barely.
So stupid. That's a Moody joke. That's a
Whoa,
dad
dude,
joke
don't
for you.
discredit Moody.
No, Jimmy's dad. Good wholesome joke. Also, shout out to you. A pistachio joke. You had a pistachio joke.
Oh,
thank you.
So
I appreciate
proud
it.
of you.
Working on
Nobody.
that
It's
still.
a chunk.
Nobody.
I got some more coming this Wednesday, hopefully. Yeah.
Bring it.
Yeah,
Bring it
man.
on up.
Yeah, dude. Speaking of schizophrenia and mental health,
Hell yeah.
And pistachio.
Speaking of.
pistachios, yeah. Why can't people with schizophrenia have like two very positive identities?
That's true.
Why is it always like
It's never productive.
yeah, good and evil? Yeah, why is the breaking personality always like evil?
I'm pretty sure that's just
You
like
can
an
answer
American
this.
thing. I think in other cultures, like people with schizophrenia are actually like held as like shamans and shit like that. Like they see
wow.
things like.
I presented this as an argument the other day to someone where I'm very libertarian. My beliefs are that everyone should be able to do whatever the fuck they want without the government stepping in and telling them anything about it. But there is something
Leave
to
us
be
alone,
said. There's
bro.
something to be said about when we do something that runs against science, right? So I just simply made this argument. I said, listen, I think trans people have a right to exist. I think that's totally fair. But perhaps there's something here in terms of like mental disorder that should be addressed.
Probably.
And the argument that I made was it's sort of like taking people with schizophrenia and being like, these are normal people. You have to treat these people like totally normal people. There's nothing wrong with these people.
Right.
Don't make them feel weird in
Yeah.
any way.
Yeah. Acknowledge every personality.
And again, I mean, it the whole thing is backwards. Like
He's got two. He's got Craig.
exactly. We can love.
and we also have
people
Republican Jesus. It's great.
Hey, we can love people and take care of people and
That's true.
provide reasonable solutions to people without being so reductive as to just be like, well, you know,
I agree with that.
like let's just boil everybody down to their physical characteristics, and then if you don't agree with it, you're a fucking bigot.
Well, the thing that's always been so strange to me is like I remember like the early aughts up into like 2010.
Yeah, sure.
It was like let's escape the labels. Like don't label me, don't pin me down.
Yeah.
And then that same liberal thinking is like we actually have to identify everything and slap a label on absolutely everything. And it's just like, whoa, I kind of liked it better when you guys were like, just be free.
I prefer the Handmaid's Tale, dude. Let's Handmaid's Tale this bitch.
It's crazy.
My wife tried to get me to watch it, and I got episode 2. I was like, babe, I'm really uncomfortable. I don't want to watch this. And she's like, it gets better. I'm like, how? How does this get better?
Do they show the breeding or
Yeah,
what?
that's wild. I mean, I've seen horror movies and all kinds of gauche, crazy things. And
say gauche?
I like gauche.
Gauche.
Dang.
Yeah, that's a Ben Shapiro word.
Damn.
I'm not gonna lie.
This is a man who's on the DW, dude. He saw this as a woman.
I was like, damn, that's a
DW
smart
plus?
Italian word right there.
You know, the thing about Beautiful Losers podcast is that it's just so crazy that these woke liberal crazy people just can't defend anything that the Beautiful Losers podcast
Ryan,
says.
take it easy. You're gonna take our money away from us. Relax.
Speaking of Beautiful Losers, this podcast is buysilver.com.
Turn all your money into silver. Turn all your money into silver.
I'm actually now we're on turn all your blood into silver. Colloidal silver.
Guys, blood is going to be the number one currency after Trump gets elected.
We actually have a new sponsor. It's called Turn Your Wife Into a Slave.
Jesus Christ.
Guys, slavery has been around for so long. It's one of the the most trusted businesses. So that's why I put all my money into buyslavery.com.
It's the oldest
Use
profession.
code BEAUTIFUL for 10% off.
Bringitback.gov.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
That's the first time I ever tried a Ben Shapiro.
You're
Nice.
pretty good.
Not
That was
bad.
pretty spot
Thanks.
on.
Appreciate
Not
it.
bad,
Pretty good.
I am part Jew.
You.
Wow.
And I'm short.
Well-
and I'm short.
I don't like that.
40% Ben Shapiro. the rest is Super Mario and Frodo.
Did you say
Took
I
my
don't-
23andMe.
I don't
I'm
like
just
that.
feeling
Like,
I'm
you don't
feeling
like that he's part Jewish.
Yeah, I feel like the fact that he didn't disclose that.
You didn't tell this
The
guy's
whole, we all shift over. One scene.
this guy's father-in-law worked for BlackRock. You run the media.
It's literal spectrum. It's a literal.
Ending this thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
For both
dude.
sides. And you know what? Jewish tactic in war. Just
It's
kidding.
true.
Damn.
Ancient,
I don't know how the Hebes fight.
Ancient Hebe armies, dude.
Ancient Hebe army.
Strategeries.
Yeah.
The Hebes don't fight, dude. They get even.
It's
wanna-
the long game.
I want to feed you warm milk out of a saucer and call you mittens.
I do have very kitten-like. I am very like cozy right now.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Welcome to my hood, dude.
This is nice. This is a
Dude,
beautiful
yeah.
place.
I don't even have shoes on anymore. I'm just fucking.
Yeah.
Fuck 'em.
Moccasins, dude.
The lesbians
Moccasins
know
gang.
what's up.
Look at them. They just kissed.
Speaking of, dude,
You just made an
hold on.
Indian cry just there. No, sorry, Native American.
You guys
You know
see-
that guy was Sicilian.
you guys see
Checks
this?
out.
This is
Oh
God, it
god.
looks like he's trying to show his penis
Show
from
him
this
your
point of
penis,
view.
dumbass.
That's me. That's me.
Nice.
So, fun story about Schrilla, who is we haven't talked about much about you, but Ryan is a host. Ryan has put us on a lot of things and has been very supportive. And one of the first things he put us on was his own personal roast.
Yeah.
And I got these T-shirts made that are Ryan without his shirt on
Buddy.
in before and after pictures from when you were working out. And it
Very
says,
embarrassing. That's why I'm hitting the gym. Like,
I've got
today.
that open mic host in me.
Got that open mic host in me.
This
Woof.
I like. You just said that
Woof.
this shirt is the reason you're working out, but that's not really what you said.
not.
You
It's
just said
definitely
like
not.
those before and after pictures. It would be so funny if this shirt from your roast.
You shamed me for my previous before.
This is my whole
weight.
set too. I was just like, yo.
Yeah.
It was-
Thanks, Ryan, for letting me be here.
It
I
was a
made some
good
merch.
moment. It was a great moment.
Zach, I hit him with like 11 jokes that I took fucking 2 weeks to write, and Zach came up and murdered by being like,
He goes,
roast.
look at this fat shit on this
roast-
t-shirt.
he essentially said roasts are gay, but I did this and just took his shirt off, and then I took
Crushed.
one off and
It was great.
and gave it to
I
him.
loved it. It was so good. I love because I'm seemingly 104 years old to everybody
Correct.
else. I was born in the late 80s. The mid
Jesus.
80s, and kind of grew up in the 90s, and that was the sign of true affection between people. And it kind of hasn't changed, but it was really, really, really bad in the 90s. And so the more you made fun of someone, the more you give them shit, the more you shame them, talk about their body, their personal things, everything.
The more you love them.
The more you care about
That's
them. And that's
right.
like,
Bring that
I
back.
love it because
Bring
these
back
guys
shame.
shit on me all day,
right.
and it's great. We shit on each other. It's a good. It's
Just
it's
like
nice.
Blippy.
Metaphor.
Heyo.
Yeah.
This, it's the bullying is on. It's on the comeback, which
I
is
think
maybe
so.
not like heavy bullying, but there is something to. Look, I was homeschooled, obviously, and what happens when you don't get bullied is you grow up and you become this.
Well, here's the thing about bullying. It needs to be
Tough
face to
look.
face.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
none of
that's
this
right. No
online,
online.
stupid
Online
keyboard
stuff.
warrior, gay shit. Like, you're hiding behind a fucking screen, pussy.
It's true. Say it to Cole's
Yeah, say it
face.
to me or Craig, bitch. I'll fucking bite the fuck out of you.
You want these
bite
jumpers
you.
wrapped
The
around your
world would
ankles?
be a much different place if people acted the way that they act on the internet in real
Oh
life.
my
Me,
god.
do you think? Me, a
It
question.
would be a lot nicer.
There's isn't there in Texas in law you have mutual combat?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
rules.
I think the world, like I've always said, I told this to TJ the other day, but like in New York, right? People always say in New York people are rude, but shit gets done in New
Yeah,
York.
very
You know
true.
what I'm saying? Because there's a high standard.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
I like this idea of move means move.
Yeah.
And stop
Yeah.
there's no time in New York City during the hustle and bustle for you to just be like, on your phone, not paying attention,
Right.
walking too slow. It's like, get the fuck out of the way.
Head on a
And they're like,
swivel.
oh, my
I
bad.
say make a hole. I say make a hole.
Yeah.
That's what I give people the old, hey, make a hole.
Make a hole's good.
That make a hole's it gets the job
That's
done.
classic.
They got the volume
Yeah.
turned up maybe like 2 degrees in New York from what we got down here.
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
makes everything just a little bit more efficient.
You have
and
to.
it's the same thing with what we're talking about with people. I think if people who had these crazy sort of ideas and beliefs ran into people in real life who were like, hey, man, that's crazy. Stop doing that.
Right.
They
Yeah.
probably would do it.
Hit them with a knock it off.
Yeah.
I like
Hey,
knock it
It's
off.
like
it
it's
out.
like in New York, like some guy could be like,
Cut
"Hey, get
it
the fuck
out.
out of the way," and be like, "Oh shit, my bad."
Yeah, my bad,
Hey,
right.
that's a cool guy. But down here, it's like, "Hey, excuse me,"
Yeah,
and then this fucking dumbass.
Yeah, they'll be
right.
like,
Like,
could you believe that, guys?
can you
Like,
believe-
can you believe he would like to go past you?
Yeah, it's so backwards almost. It's just like
Yeah.
maybe we can find like a balance of get the fuck out of the way
balance, dude.
and that guy's all right.
It's all about a balance. You guys keep talking about the balance. Unfortunately, I have a heart out, so I'll leave you guys with this little chunk of wisdom. It's not my words. Get in the pit and try to love someone. That's all I
Get
got.
in the pit and
Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Moody.
We're going to collapse in here and continue on without TJ.
TJ, enjoy.
TJ will be on our show on November 16th at
Check it out,
Norfolk,
dude.
Gainesville. So come, he's gonna sling some jokes and do some crowd work.
He's
so-
actually leaving because he has to brew some beer.
Ayo.
No, the
little
truth
bit.
is way funnier
And
because
here's-
that's exactly what the people would
And
expect.
TJ's phone number and address is.
Now that the inmates are running the asylum.
Oh God, dude.
Dude, let's get
Let 'em out.
wild.
Say the inmate.
No,
Naruto. No, see.
Oh, I don't know.
no,
Actually,
dude.
I did think I felt something in my crack.
I'm going to have to
There
cut
you go,
this out.
Good catch. Although, also, Republicans can catch, bro.
Hey,
A lot of Democrats can't catch.
Another, just
So
another
I'm
win.
sorry, it's stupid. Dumb
No, it's
jokes.
great. It's a great
Another
gay
one.
joke.
Yeah. yeah. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, yo.
Oh, man, how's it feel to be upgraded? What's up?
Dude.
No, I'm just joking. I don't.
I like how
he's-
you're
he's
using my
much
wife's
better.
pregnancy pillow, dude. Continue to do that.
Is that what that is?
I guess. I don't really
Dude,
know.
pregnancy pillows.
I had a food
fucking
baby
rule.
the other night, man.
Hey,
I was in my second trimester after a sack of Taco Bell.
Wow.
It was. I haven't had it in so long. I was like, you know what? Let's hit the border. And boy, I did. It was good.
Expect.
Yeah,
Before it closes
run for
down.
That's what used to be. Run for the border.
That's
what
right,
it was.
dude, that's
That was-
right.
I remember all the old slogans,
right.
and I regret it.
I have never.
The gas was not worth it. I was like,
yeah.
I expanded in my stomach, and I was like, oh, this is crazy.
And you gave birth to just a ugly
heaving-
baby.
heaving-
You think Taco
Tyler
Bell and Wendy's and McDonald's? I mean, they've got to be quaking in their boots, dude. Now that Robert Kennedy Jr. is coming through, and he's
Oh,
going to
dude,
take all the
they're-
seed
oh,
oils out
yeah,
of restaurants, dude.
Yeah. They can't
Get
handle the
your
truth.
Big Macs and Baconators and Mexi Melts and all those things. Bye, buddy.
I didn't wash my hands.
Get good.
Hey, dude.
Seed
So
oils are on the chopping block, dude.
Fluoride's coming out of the water
They're
systems,
taking the floor.
which is awesome.
Somebody argued with me the other day. They were like, "Well, oh, that's bad." I was like, "It's bad? You would? I mean,
Fluoride
if you
makes
had
you
the
dumber.
option of drinking crystal clear, untainted water and water with fluoride in it, why would you choose the fluoride?" He's like, "It's good for your teeth." I'm like, "Yeah, but if it makes you retarded,
Yeah, so the dentists are like, hey, just rinse with this. They're not like, hey,
Yeah, drink
take
it.
it down. Have a Sprite with it.
Yeah.
Well, right. That's the thing. Is like you're not supposed to eat your toothpaste
Yeah.
No, yeah,
No.
you.
because it's got fluoride in it.
Ooh.
not supposed to do cocaine either, but
Back in the 90s, we didn't care.
Well-
because we didn't care about, like, we
Everything in
would flavor
moderation.
toothpaste.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, back in the 90s, we would flavor toothpaste. It'd be like strawberry Starburst, Bonanza.
Dude,
Mountain
And
Dew
it's like,
flavor
oh, yeah.
90s
Mountain
toothpaste
Dew.
ruled. It was so
Yeah.
tasty.
There was chocolate toothpaste once.
There was a lot of that going on. Do you guys remember like the ketchups that were colored and
Yeah.
Well, they're
Jeez,
African American
dude.
ketchups now. So
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. No, purple, green. Yeah, purple, green ketchups. Yeah, that was a wild. That we didn't care.
Back in like
Wild
the
West.
late 90s, early 2000s, it was like
We can dye all food.
fucking dude, put red 40 in everything, dude.
It was a wild time.
It was the Wild West.
I think that's when Blue Raspberry came out.
Oh, did you guys see that? The picture just moved.
George.
We're being so patriotic right
He's
now.
so fired up that Donnie T's the president now. He's like, yes, my child.
He's like
Or it's,
Dogecoin.
or it's the opposite. George Washington starts crying blood.
Dude, blood starts dripping off.
I've thought about that a lot too because I think it's a very useful tool to take and put yourself in your opponent's imaginary scenario, right? Like,
Sure.
like
Yeah.
to put yourself in the other argument. So I think it would be funny if Trump was like if he became a dictator. You know, like if we're all sitting here being like, "Woo!"
He's
it's
like,
rules,"
"I've
and then
fooled all of you.
He's like, I'm locking everybody up.
I was just kidding.
Just kidding. Full globalism.
Oh, that would be
If I were to write it like
so
a show,
bad, but
if I were to
kinda
write
funny.
it like a show, like that's what I would full heel turn.
Yeah, right.
And then it's not JD Vance. Surprise, WWF style. Kamala Harris's theme music comes in. I'm vice president. Like, what? Great turn.
Yeah.
How badass was that glass breaking when Stone Cold came out?
Oh yeah.
the
yeah.
coolest.
I think we should change the presidential Hail to the Chief.
Yep.
Dun, 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 dun. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or the Terminator thing.
Trump might do that. He might.
He really might.
He might come out to except for Stone Cold's a lib, dude. He's a Stone Cold lib.
Dude, I was hoping that when Kamala was giving her like speech that she didn't do on the day it was supposed to happen, and then she came out and she gave this incredible speech, and then Stone Cold comes out and stuns her in front of all the damn
The Rock comes out and gives her the people's
He comes
elbow.
out in white linen.
Well, Hulk Hogan, Trump has Hogan, and I think I bet The Rock would probably vote for Harris.
No, I think
You
that-
think- you
I think
think
the Rock has kind of been one of those guys that's caught some heat for being
Conservative?
not conservative, but like in the disinfected sort of camp where it's like maybe he doesn't really have a
purple
party.
action.
Yeah. And he got in trouble for being pretty positive about Rogan during COVID. I think he got in some trouble for that. So I don't know. I hope The Rock gets off steroids. He's not going to live much longer if he keeps doing that.
Regardless of how you voted, buddy, get off the juice.
Yeah, get off the
Yeah.
juice.
Yeah, gotta get
His
the-
heart is going to explode.
Is the
dude.
juice worth the squeeze? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rock. We know you're watching.
We know you're out there, Rock.
Yeah.
Dude, Dogecoin's up.
Dude,
Dude,
How's your Doge, man?
it's fucking through the roof.
it's like what is it? It's like 30 cents now?
Yeah.
That's insane. It was
We're climbing,
18
baby.
cents.
Up from, that's
It was 18 cents 2 weeks ago.
percentage-wise, that's,
Last week.
Last week. Oh, nearly 100%.
wow.
I showed my wife and I was like, babe,
87, but yeah, it's
we're
good.
not working anymore.
We're done. Chris turned $600 into $1,200, dude. We're done.
Shiba-Ina-based cryptocurrency
Well,
is...
the other day after the
Mistake
podcast, Cole's like, I think I bought like $5,000 worth of Dogecoin. What'd you say?
No,
so crazy.
so I got confused. I have Shiba,
There you go.
and I have like 1 million shares of Shiba. I put $100 on it back in 2020.
Oh my god.
How's that doing this morning? Have you checked post-election on your Shiba?
I imagine it's worth about $35 now.
Damn, dude.
It's just-
Hell yeah.
I bought it at the
Blessing.
Praise God.
But they were talking Dogecoin. I was like, I think I have like 1 million shares of Dogecoin. I have to leave
Dude.
now.
Yeah, he's
Cole
like-
was like, I think I might be rich. Like, I think we might be up. And then he texts us like 2 hours later. He's like $35.
Yeah, sorry, I lost a Longhorn dinner's worth of money.
Dude, I was about to be like,
filet.
we're gonna get a studio. It's gonna be the fucking best. We're going straight to the moon.
Straight to the moon.
I can't
To the
even
moon.
afford a tip at Longhorns.
right. Damn, man.
Golly.
That's wild. Cryptocurrency. My grandpa, he just had his birthday, and he's a Marine, so the Marine
Hell
Corps
yeah.
had their birthday. So he's just flooded with gifts and stuff. We were talking every time I talk to him, and I bring up anything that has happened after 1980. He's just like, I don't like it.
It's past.
I don't like it. I'm like, Grandpa, what do you think about cryptocurrency? He goes, you got to be. I can't say it, but he goes, you got to be a blank. And I was like, yeah, I don't do it. He goes, well, you're not a blank. I was like, thanks, Grandpa. Appreciate it.
Is that blank a
He goes, why-
3-letter word?
He goes, can you? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what the blank is. We said retard. I'm like, what's the blank?
That one's not back yet. Not back yet. January.
Theo Von
coming back.
said it on Joe Rogan's podcast the other day.
I said it last week.
Gay com. Well, I was about to say gay comics can say it. I got you. No, that's it's. I do like that when it's like, hey, you can embrace that because that's again not to. I've been real on the nostalgic '90s kick, looking at old like there's a bunch of my '90s life Instagram like things, and they just like they'd be like, remember Tamagotchi? I'm like, oh yeah, I do.
Oh, yeah.
All these things that are like, oh shit,
Pogs.
and then. Really?
Pogs,
Oh
dude.
yeah, I was
Stretch Armstrong.
Yes,
Oh,
ride
yeah.
bikes with pegs, all kinds of just
The
all
green
the
machine?
things, all the things. Yes, creepy crawlers. There's so many things that we had back then that were just like, oh, we're very nostalgic. Millennials. I'm
for sure.
technically, I'm not a Gen Xer. I'm a elder millennial.
Yeah, when were you
And-
born? 86?
86. So I'm like
Yeah.
right
Oh, yeah.
on that.
That's
right
like
on that line.
that is like the beginning of
OG.
Yeah.
OG millennial.
It was it was such a great time. It was so good because here's the thing. Nowadays everybody's like pedophiles, crazy. Don't ride your bikes. You can't do it. Keep kids safe. All that stuff. We still had them, but the internet is the changer.
Yeah, it really has changed. It's changed a lot. Like I think about toys.
Yeah.
As a kid, like my Game Boy and things that like I cared so desperately about as a kid, where I'm like, I've got fucking. I could do 50,000. I mean, I thought about this watching the World Series when the Braves won the World Series. I had just had a baby, and I remember thinking like, I'm watching the baseball game, the World Series, on my phone in a totally separate room where I don't have a TV. Like 15 years ago, this would have been.
No.
It would have been science fiction.
No, can't.
Yeah.
Can't even fathom it.
How has pedophilia gotten worse, but we know where most of them are now?
That's a great question.
That is a great
Like, all the
question. I
convicted
don't.
pedophiles are just online. You can
Moody
see where
with
they
the-
are.
I don't think.
You know what I mean? That's
I don't
crazy.
think it's gotten worse. I think back in the '90s, it was like, well, if you get diddled, you're a cute kid. You know.
Yeah. They just
Wait, you telling me?
No, there's a lot of people have bits about that kind of thing. I was not Catholic. I was not attractive, and also I just didn't live near that, and I was lucky, so I never got diddled for whatever reason. Thank goodness. But yeah, they were around. Like we saw the people. You just ride by that house.
Yeah, dude, I've literally heard someone say, "Who hasn't got touched by their creepy uncle? Get over it." And I'm like,
oh,
I don't know if I should laugh or gasp. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
You laughed. You laughed.
Yeah, I was like,
I laughed at that joke.
Well, don't worry about it. I mean, Trump is most assuredly going to round up all the pedophiles and execute them. So.
dude, hell yeah.
well, there you go. There you go.
What do you think about the stock of Trojan? Is it going to go through the roof, or is it going to plummet due to the women?
No, all the ladies are going to cut their hair and sew their vaginas up. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine.
That's pretty wild.
Dude, I'd love to fuck G.I.
There
Jane.
was a guy who, what's this guy's name? So a big thing that's been happening, speaking about pedophiles.
George?
What has happened? Did you do that?
Dogecoin's up.
There has been a big surge in like sort of freestyle Chris Hansening. Have you guys seen this? Like,
Yeah, dude, people
Friends,
getting the
bunch of
dog
guys.
shit beat out of
A bunch of
them.
guys in Philly being like, "Meet me at this Wawa," and then
incredible.
Yeah, meet me at this fucking bodega.
here's the thing:
That's the free market.
a lot of a little vigilanteism. The sad part is it's a lot of times guys who are like mentally challenged.
Yeah, people with severe mental disabilities.
And like there was a joke where it was a sports joke where a Vikings fan and a Green Bay Packers fan were like you, and then they see a Bears fan and they're like let's get this guy.
Right.
Turns around, it's a guy with Down syndrome. They're like, hey buddy, Rudy. It's such a funny joke on the Bears because we're 4-4, blah 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 blah. We're the laughing joke of the NFC North, blah blah. But
hate
that's
to see
like there's a sense of realism with that with actual people who have been on Dateline, and then not to throw this whole culture under the bus, but Indians.
Yeah.
yeah, well, their culture is like, yeah, she's 14. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's wild.
When we get married.
Don't disagree.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's why it's a wild thing of certain cultures to have
Yeah, it's
that.
big cultural differences.
And then you see
It is wild.
Like you'd see a lot of they said that a lot of she-male and transsexual porn would be Googled in places like the Arab countries, Middle Eastern countries. A lot of that Afghanistan, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, all those kind of
The stands.
The stands.
Yeah, they're standing for trans.
They stand for trans. I don't know why I want to back that movement. I want to donate. That's a super PAC right there.
Bumper stickers, the whole 9 yards.
Stands for trans.
And they don't know when to put up their Christmas lights. I'm just saying. No, the guy that runs the HOA in my neighborhood is obviously white because he started yelling at all these houses that had Christmas lights up like before Halloween, and they're like, you have to take them down, and everybody's like, they celebrate a little something called Diwali.
It's literally
they
the
don't
festival
do Christmas.
of love. It's in the name, man.
And somebody had to correct
Christmas be
them.
like, it's pretty, but we can take them or leave them.
They literally
We have to have this. Or else we get shunned by Vishnu or
We don't get to go to our heaven if we don't do this.
Oh, dude, I bet that guy felt like such a jackass.
That's eating it. That's humble pie.
There's so many emails back to him about like, hey, they celebrate Diwali, they don't celebrate Christmas, all this stuff. He literally writes back a 2-word email and he goes, "Good point."
I was gonna guess my bad.
Oh man, I was thinking the thing I wish I've been hearing, but I'm sorry. Also, Fitz.
I'm sorry. Whoopsie daisy. It's another good one.
Didn't apologize.
Oh
Just went
man,
straight for it.
has there been a time recently that you guys just ate it in front of like you had to actually like, oh, I feel real dumb right now?
Yeah,
that happened?
Very recently,
Let's hear
I got hammered at Ship,
It does that to you.
and I misread a situation. I fully spazzed out on my lady. I took the beer from her hand, chugged it, and said, "We gotta go." Now, our friend Nathan was there, saw the whole thing, was confused as fuck. I don't remember much of anything. All I know is the next morning, I was like, "Hey, what you did was fucked up last night." And she was like, "Well, this is actually what happened." And I was like, "I gotta call Nathan." So I called Nathan and was like, "Hey man, sorry about that. I acted a fool." And he was like, "Bro,
Yeah.
you're good."
Yeah.
I find that
It's wild.
I find that I care so much about not doing that I do the opposite and then wind up putting my foot in my mouth the opposite way, where it's like I'll try and say something relevant or cool and then wind up saying something dumb. Like
that
it's
happens.
stupid stuff. Like I was trying to make a point about the football game that was on the other day, and I said the wrong teams and
that's-
started talking about the wrong things.
That's
and then
dumb.
was like, oh,
That's real dumb.
Now that I'm
That
thinking
sucks.
about it, just listen to every other podcast before, and I've said something.
Cole does say some things.
Yeah.
I am pretty embarrassed. We were making the sketch about kidnapping Daniel, and I was like, "You guys can dress me up as a white girl, and we can lure him with my body." And that was a joke not well received.
Well, it would be funny if he was actually very attracted to you in a wig. That would be great.
Secretly.
Yeah.
Secretly.
Which,
so
hey,
stupid.
That Delana, speaking of Delana, we went to that showcase on Thursday that Nathan, the big dog Nathan, put on.
Great
and,
fucking show.
my God, he burned the
Really?
house down.
Believable.
I believe it.
It was
Everybody
incredible.
did great, but Daniel had the hottest
Daniel.
set.
Well, he's so
Yeah.
good. He's so good.
Once a month, please go see the Lowcast at the Healing Comedy
Yes.
Club.
Yes, on
Absolute.
Thursdays. Is it going to be on Thursdays? Is it primarily a Thursday show?
think so.
Yeah. Probably monthly.
Check it out. It's going to be. I mean, the first one
This
was
is
unbelievable.
our audience, dude. You guys live outside the perimeter or in
Yeah.
Boston.
Yeah, we're in
calm
Boston.
down.
We know you.
Harry?
Yeah. Harry.
Come on down, dude.
Come on, man.
Dude, and not talking, or speaking of not eating shit, dude, your set at Helium.
Oh,
Come on, dude.
Dude,
This guy's a
I
little
only saw
celebrity.
pretty
the
good.
clip of it when you walked up after the guy in the cat suit.
Oh,
That you had,
it's
so,
great.
yeah, dude, that you're,
It was
Thank
the,
you.
the Saturday Late Show. I was there for that.
That was loosey goosey.
That was one of my favorite sets I've ever seen you do.
Oh,
it
thank
was
you very
so
much.
Damn, dude.
fucking good.
It's what happens when you actually like work hard and you work on stuff and memorize your jokes and do well and be in
Right.
the moment. You kind of focus, and then people don't treat this as a job. And I I think I work. My boss won't see this, thank goodness. But unless I tell him to subscribe, and he will.
Hey,
He'll fire
come
me.
on
But
now.
I think I work harder at comedy than my actual job because I've been doing my day job for well over a decade.
Yeah.
A baker's dozen years, and comedy I'm only 3 years in, but
Damn,
I
dude.
take it pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you do it at shows.
Got some. That was a W. That was one of those things where I'm like, I might be I might be in an 11-6 team in football. That's kind of how I do. If you want a B+ comic, he's your guy.
Right there.
No, don't sell yourself short.
know
dude.
about
That was one of those games where I'm like, ooh, this is I held the whole crowd to a field goal.
Yeah.
I got third. I was just racking up.
Dude, it was so
Shows in
good.
Couple
the big
extra
room,
points. Yeah.
in front of a ton of people.
300. This was nuts. It was 300. And I think that holds just under 400.
405.
Damn.
I think there's like
Yeah.
380
Yeah.
there or something like that.
So there was about 380 folks, I think, around.
crazy.
And most of them, this was the coolest part, is that this kid Connor Wood at Fibula on Instagram podcast, nice, funny kid, very charming, wholesome
TikTok kid.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got some good jokes.
Hot boy.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid. I was
Yeah.
like, this
Hot
guy.
boy.
I was
And
really impressed with his material, to be honest.
I was too. It was cool. I've never followed or gone in front of or open for a social media type of comic.
Sure, an influencer.
Yeah, an influencer type of TikTok, Instagram type of comedian. But I was very surprised, and that's how big comedy is. But boy, howdy, his whole crowd. It must have been. I'm not being hyperbolic or exaggerating. At least 250 hot girls.
Oh, really?
20 somethings. I'm like,
I mean-
and just by me being me, I was like, I'm a creepy old man, and nothing happened. I didn't do anything. I'm just like,
Just
just,
showed up.
comparing myself. I'm like, ooh, look
Yeah.
at me. I'm like, ooh, that's
Dude, I felt
that's why I
creepy.
started hitting the gym again. That's why.
Bro, I felt creepy in line. I was
Yeah.
just surrounded by the hottest ladies ever, and I was
it
just
was
like,
wild.
I'm here to see my friends.
Yeah.
I swear I'm not a Connor Wood fan.
My girlfriend's
became
over
a fan
there.
after.
I swear, yeah.
That
my
was
girlfriend's
the
over there.
opposite audience of the audience that has been at the Helium the past 3 times.
There's going to be a diverse group of folks that come in for different. There's halal comedy that
Yeah.
just happened,
Yeah.
so that's
They had
definitely
a,
girls can't even show up. They have to wear their
Like it should be.
That's not good.
Keep their
They
head
can't
covered and
speak.
keep
They
their
can't-
mouth closed.
they can't-
It's how I like them.
They can't laugh. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
They showed some
Just
pornography
kidding,
in the
kidding.
big room last week on
Oh,
Thursday.
really?
Yeah.
the
Oh, wow.
comedian
I heard that was fucking
put
weird.
pornography up. What's Moses' last name?
Storm.
Moses Storm
Yeah.
was up last night, and this is hilarious. I don't want to spoil. I'm going to spoil it, but he has this great little thing where he builds up to his closing joke, which is that he didn't have porn as a kid. They didn't have the internet as a kid, so he had to draw his own porn.
Oh, no.
I remember hearing that on podcast
And he
episode.
he got pictures. He had his mom go back through
Oh
and
my
shows
God.
the pictures. And it was hilarious, dude. I told Schrilla earlier, he sat on a lady for like 15 minutes.
Holy
Oh.
shit! That's
Just sat on her. Just like she did not want him to sit on her. She was like a big, thick lady. In like a moo and
good
he
lap.
just sat on this
just a
lady.
good healthy lap.
But
Nice.
that's, I mean, we've talked about
Calm
it.
down over there.
Reminds me of my first lap dance.
Love seat.
We've talked about it a couple of times on the podcast, but it's fun and exciting to have a club where there's going to be real headliners coming through.
I'm very team Helium.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for them. I mean, Atlanta's got great clubs. I mean, the Laughing Skull,
course.
Punchline, all that great. But Helium, next level. It's different in a good way.
Well, it's needed. It's needed.
Much needed, yeah. And then money. I mean, the suburbs we're just on that fringe out
Yeah.
there,
Yeah.
and we have a whole lot of different perspectives. And I think it's a little bit more. It's kind of a perfect area because you have the old kind of bluish kind of area and politics and opinions and all that stuff, which is. I'm not saying it's never funny. It's funny. Funny is funny.
I think it's needed.
Funny
too.
is
It is
funny.
needed.
And then
You have to have
there's the big red spot of literally everywhere else in Georgia.
Yep.
And so we have our opinions and stuff, but there's this nice healthy belt of purple that's kind of around.
Yeah.
And
Just
purple
outside the perimeter.
makes the best
That's
room.
right.
Because
Yeah.
we have freedom, and freedom couldn't be more right leaning, but I make it a point to book comics who are from different backgrounds. They have different political stances. Gay, black, white, tall, high energy, low energy. We have comics that are dry, comics that are clean, comics that are filthy. And I think one of those things is not diversity for the sake of diversity. That's bullshit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The diversity for sake of many different types of people have many different types of experiences. You might have someone that grew up in California, moved here. We try and keep that away from them. I'm just kidding. But we want people who have experienced that kind of thing as comics to tell jokes like that to those people here, and that's
Funny's funny
makes
too,
it-
right? I
funny's
mean, like
funny.
that's the thing about. Well, and I think this is the case for a lot of people that love stand-up. I think a lot of my opinions come from stand-up. You hear somebody present a strong opinion in a joke, and it can change your opinion about something.
It really
Yeah,
can.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, oh, I've never thought about it like that. I mean, I do that Airbud thing, which I think is a fun little way to poke
Silly joke.
at
Good one.
Republicans who are mad about trans athletes. And I don't know, like there's something about just poking at people in the sensitive places that's fun. And the problem is when it's all one thing or it's all another thing, right? We don't need all one thing. We don't need
No,
all
that's
Republican
terrible.
comedy or all
Yeah.
liberal comedy. We need
It's what Twitter used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Now it's changed. It's good.
It's X now.
I like how you still call it Twitter.
You know, everybody
respect
calls it
that.
Twitter. Yeah.
Respect that, because like I was born in Illinois, closer to it was U.S. Cellular Field. Everybody knows it as Comiskey Park.
Yeah, right.
Like we don't call it. I don't call it anything but Comiskey Park.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
Yeah, it's
X. It
X,
sounds-
dude. What? I don't know why they
Sounds-
needed to
no.
rename it.
I mean,
It could have been like, no, Elon's weird.
he's a weird.
He's a
dude.
weird
He's a
guy.
weird
Which is-
dude.
it's cool.
Brilliant, but weird.
Well, you can't be that smart and be fucking normal.
agree with
That's
that.
impossible.
Oh, you know everything. You're gonna be normal.
Yeah.
There's also something about like people want to talk about how he's weird, but then not talk about how Bill Gates is weird.
Bill Gates had the literal idea about. Have you seen the movie Snowpiercer?
Yeah,
He was like, let's have some chemicals to make it. It's like, no. That's the plot of the movie Snowpiercer.
Yeah, right.
Don't do
they
that.
have to ride around in a train
Forever. God, what a... For someone who is so brilliant, what a fucking dumbass retard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. Hot take. But Jesus, and when you have when it's debunked by I don't know plumbers who are like, hey, in that movie that I saw,
We shouldn't.
you know, some guy who works for Roto-Rooter is like, hey, I don't think this is a real good idea. Call me crazy, but
I saw
you know,
this in 28 weeks later. What are we doing?
yeah, because I was just drinking Mountain Dew and chumping on 4 Slim Jims, and I thought to myself, this might not be the best idea.
Well, that's the thing with politicians, billionaires, any of this stuff. Like
So
we
funny.
can all sit here, right, and be like, oh, if I was in that position, I would do X. It's like, yo, dude. You would have to be a freak to be in that position.
Yeah.
Like you would have to stop being a human being and
yeah.
become a freak.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
you'd have to start caring about power and money
Oh,
more than you
God.
care about anything ever. And then that, yeah, I mean, absolute.
I'm so
power
glad
corrupts
my
absolutely.
desires and my freak is here.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm here.
I
I'm
just
normal.
want people to like.
I love when
It's
people
good.
are like,
It's
if
a
I
good
had that
level.
much money, I would be doing this, that, and the other.
Bro, if you had that much money, you'd be fucking kids in a satanic ritual, just like all the
rest of them.
Yeah.
Dude, if I had that much money, I would be doing nothing. I wouldn't work. I'd just like I would just pay people to do shit for me. Like,
Yeah, but it's a chicken and the egg scenario because the only way that you can accrue that much
Oh,
money
for sure.
is to love to work.
I love how they feel so entitled. Like you get so rich
Yeah.
to a point that Jesus goes out the window, and you feel better than Jesus, where you have to create your own god. That's an owl called Olak.
Moloch.
Moloch, yeah. It's like,
yeah.
That's where the word molesting comes.
Yeah.
That's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Dude, the whole thing is ass backwards, dude. If you're out there right now, dude, give up all your earthly possessions and follow Christ.
That's
yeah,
right.
There you go.
That's all you can do.
That's right, dude.
Turn your heart towards the Lord.
That's right, dude.
Amen, brother.
Is that it?
Where are we?
Oh, dude, riff for 60 seconds, Schrilla.
60 seconds.
Tell us what you got going on.
What I
Yeah.
got going on is I will actually be November 27th on a Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. I'm doing a show at Helium. I'm on the old Thanksgiving Eve showcase there.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna
The
start.
Lowcase?
No. This is just a regular old fashioned.
hell yeah, dude.
separate from that. I don't need Nathan, motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. I love him. They're great. And
We
then see any of my shows. We're gonna be back at Blue Door either December or starting right after New Year's. But come see a show at Freedom. Come see a show at Roaring Social. Come see a show anywhere you see us. Canopy and Roots. We're taking the holidays off. Like we're just gotta revamp, do stuff. We're doing things bigger and better next year. So anytime you see Die Laughing Comedy or Bite Worthy or me or JB, and please subscribe to this podcast. These guys
Oh, thank you,
are
man.
so funny.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm going to be really honest on your podcast. I gave it a listen as a favor because I like you as friends and people. And then what happened was I laughed. I'm like, these guys are so dumb and silly, but I'm dumb and silly and we're relatable. And if you ever have friends, the way you talk to your friends and enjoy those times, that's all this is.
Yep.
And it is one of the best ways to pass some time while you're at work. Maybe you're, got a road trip. Maybe you're just wanting to put something on in the background while you cook some chicken parmesan.
Yep.
Hell
Whatever
yeah.
it is.
Masturbating.
Listen to it.
Masturbating.
Yeah.
Oh my God! If I were to come during Sheila Jeet or airbending or any of the retarded, stupid things that you guys say, oh my God, my sex life would be ruined forever.
Would be ruined.
And my safe word would be Dragon Volcano. That's what it'd have to be. You guys, it's a thank you for having me.
Wow,
Man. It's a very
listen.
fun time.
Schrilla, you're the man, dude. And listen, for all you guys out there, go subscribe to everything that this guy's doing, man.
Yeah,
'Cause-
Bite
Yeah,
Worthy.
absolutely.
I'm kicking back up my show where I take comics out to restaurants. I'm probably going to do, I'm going to borrow your equipment. Since I have all this, I'm probably going to take the Beautiful Losers out
Hell
to
yeah.
we might go to maybe a Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Oh, hell
dude,
yeah,
We
dude.
might buffet it up.
Yes.
My record is 7 plates, 10 plates total with dessert. I think Moody's
Let's
got
go,
me. No
dude.
offense.
I'll give you a
But
run.
we'll give you a run. But we're
This
gonna
is
do
it,
some
man.
stuff.
This is underground comedy. This is punk rock.
This
This is the
real
guy
comedy.
who's
Yeah,
doing
fuck it
everything
all.
cool.
Absolutely.
Real comedy.
Just go out there and do it. Fuck what they say.
Fuck
Fuck
what
what
they say,
the comedians, the industry, clubs, the formats. Do your thing and work hard at it and give it your all. And it might fail. It might not. It might be a glowing success. But either way, you're gonna get people talking.
Clear
And
eyes, full hearts, baby. Let's
We're
go.
talking.
Let's go.
We're talking.
God
Thanks, guys.
bless.
Later.
Thank you. Love you. Mwah.